Alright guys, and welcome back. Right, I've got a spare hour, so I thought I'd make a video in the garage with you guys. So, this is the air mass meter from my Aston Martin DB7 Vantage. Now those that follow the channel will know this has been in a crash and I bought it as a salvage car. Now these air mass meters are £560 from Aston Martin. You can get them second hand for a couple £100 off eBay, which is obviously a lot of money. And there's no fault lights or anything like that, and I believe the car drives okay. So because the casing is just broken, I've decided I'm going to repair it. Now what I have done, I've used the part number and done a bit of an online search, and I found this is the same as a Ford Mercury, I think it's in a V8 truck in America. They didn't sell them in the UK, but they're standard issue. And in the States, you can get these second hand for about $60. So in the future, I may replace it with one of them. But for now, I'm going to plastic weld this up and show you guys how to repair it and save a few quid. So as you can see, there's a hole here, and it's not quite round anymore. So this mounts underneath the bumper on the outside of the chassis leg, and because it's been in a front end crash, that bumper corner's been taken out and this is just being compressed and cracked. There's nothing wrong with the sensor, there's no fault lights, it's literally just a casing. In theory, I could get someone to 3D print this, but I don't think I really need to. I think I can repair this and make a good job of it. As you can see, it's got some cracks. I've put the infill bits back in. Oh, that's just fallen back out. So these, you just make sure, take your time, make sure they fit nicely. Heat your soldering iron up. I'm just using a normal soldering iron, nothing fancy. I've cleaned the end, just so I know that it's not going to be covered in solder. And then you can also use a little bit of super glue just to glue the pieces back in. So main bit is to concentrate welding these little bits to the main item. And then I'm going to heat it up and try and get it back to a round shape. But to start off with, I'm just going to use a little bit of super glue just to hold everything into place. Here's my trusty super glue. I think it's from Tool Station, nice and cheap. Normal super glue, nothing fancy. So my main concern is the little bits. If I can bond them on first, we could then try and make the whole thing nice and round again. As you can see straight away, that bit is looking better. Now we don't need to make it look perfect at the minute, we just need to make it strong. But straight away, as you can see, that's nice and strong already. Right, now the other end. So yeah, them bits are firmly attached and nice and strong, as you can hopefully see. Now we just need to make the rest of the meter kind of fit on. So the main bit, obviously this has got a stud pattern which it's got to line up with, so I need to make sure that bit is nice. So again, I'm going to use a little bit of super glue. So yeah, that's got that bit. So here's my welding rod, which as you can see is a cable tie. I'm just going to fill this bit in here. Once that's dry, I can sand block this back down, make it nice and square. And obviously because I filled in that little cavity there, it's just going to be that little bit stronger. So I'm going to use this clamp to clamp this up, try and make it round again and make it all fit properly. As you can see, that looks a lot better. There we go. Now what I've also done, I've just used a little blowtorch just to heat this up a little bit and help bond it in together. There you can see that. I've welded a little bit of filler rod, or shall we say cable tie over the top. Just bonded it in just to give it that little bit of extra strength. I just need to do the last little bit here, so I'm going to do that on camera. So again, using a little blowtorch. And that is about done. Now what I'm going to do now is going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'll file it and sand it and make it the right shape again. But I'm pretty happy with that. Right, I'm going to take the sensor out of the housing now. Now the sensor isn't unique at all. It's fitted to loads and loads of American Fords and quite a few Eastern European Fords, stuff like the Focus for example. in Latvia has this sensor, which is quite unusual because ours don't. But yeah, that sensor's fairly lasty. Fitting in loads of things. The housing is, I wouldn't say unique, but pretty unique. The thing is, it's a lot bigger than a Focus one. Now the Ford Mercury one is the same. I think it's the big 4.3 V8 Ford Mercury is the same. But a lot of vehicles have this, but don't have this. So this is the hard bit, essentially. So now it's apart. I'm going to use some Abranet cloth, some 120, followed by 400, 600, and polish all this housing up where I've welded it. Now you don't want to see all this, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit, but next time you see it, it's going to look a lot nicer, hopefully. As you can see, that's polished up really nicely. So now I'm going to move on to the 600. I'm going to finish with just some grey Scotch-Brite. And as you can see, that looks a million times better. There's still a couple of little bits that aren't perfect, but overall, it's pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is spray it with some silicone spray, and that'll make it look shiny again and look even better. So, sprayed with silicone spray, I'm going to put the element back in, the sensor. And then we are done. Now the most important bit, does this fit? And yes, it does. Perfect. So guys, it's all finished. I would consider this project a huge success. I've saved myself minimum $60 plus tax. That's assuming I use an American airflow meter. If I used an English Aston Martin one, I've probably saved myself 200 quid. So I've had an hour of my time on it, and look, it's come out really, really well. And to be fair, you wouldn't really notice that it's been repaired. So really, really chuffed. And the best thing is I've made some content for you guys. So obviously, if you like this kind of content, please comment below. Let me know what you think. If you're interested in the Aston Martin and you want to see future updates, please hit the subscribe button. Again, if you like my Nova stuff, etc., please hit the subscribe button. So I plan to be back next week, taking the wings off this and the bonnet and getting it stripped to assess the rest of the damage, basically. So if you're into that kind of thing, come back next Wednesday. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up there. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.